Hello and welcome to Spiritual Bloom, where we bloom within our consciousness, with your spiritual guide and twin flame coach Neha. In today's episode, we will be talking about shadow work. We will understand what shadow work really is and how does it impact your twin flame journey. So, you know, why does your twin flame trigger you more than anyone else ever has? I think that question has come up in many of your minds, and also, why does this connection feel like the deepest love and at the same time the deepest pain? Like the kind of love which you have never felt in your life, and also the deepest kind of pain which you have never experienced in your entire life. I'm sure these questions must have come up, somewhere, sometime inside your mind. And you've probably asked yourself, like, why only me? Why did this happen to me? Or why this connection? Was it necessary for me to put me in this connection? Why not others? And why does it hurt so much if it's meant to be divine? If it's called divine masculine, if it's called divine feminine, if it's called a divine journey, why does it hurt so much? So, here's the truth that most people will never tell you about this journey. And I'm sure that you people are already aware about it. That this journey, like I've always been telling you, is not about romance first. This journey is about shadow work. That's why when you take a turn and you make it feel like it is a romance, it will definitely give you pain. But if you come into acceptance that this connection came into my life, or I was placed into this journey because I had to clear my karmic debts and do my shadow work to come out of such karmic debts, that is the time when you will understand that it's not about romance, and that is the reason how you will come out of such pain. And until and unless you don't understand this, you will always stay stuck in cycles of chasing, separation, and emotional chaos, and you'll go round and round and you'll keep on asking yourself again and again that why me? Why this journey? Why God was so unfair to me? Why not others? But when you come into acceptance, you will break free from such cycles, and instead of chasing, instead of being in separation, as I told you, separation is an illusion. It's not the truth. The mind and the situation tricks you to understand that separation is reality. But separation is an illusion because you both are already connected in the 5D. So when you come into acceptance and you start understanding that you need to do shadow work, that's why you have been placed in this journey, that is when the entire dynamic of this journey changes. So, it is very important for us to understand that what is shadow work. Many people, they talk about inner work, but they don't want to understand shadow work. To do the inner work, you have to understand what shadow work is, what your shadows are, what your shadows are trying to tell you, the darker ones especially. So in this video, we are going beyond the basics and we will be diving into like what shadow work really is on a psychological and spiritual level, and why your twin flame activates your deepest wounds, the hidden patterns that always keep you stuck for years, and how to actually heal and move towards your inner union. So first, let's understand what is shadow work. You have heard it many times, I think, sometimes in books, magazines, nowadays in social media, many people, they make video. So shadow work is not just about healing trauma or thinking positively. Your shadow is made up of many things, such as repressed emotions, unconscious beliefs, unconditioned patterns from childhood, such as childhood traumas, and parts of yourself which you rejected to feel safe or accepted. For example, if you were taught that expressing emotions is weak, you may have buried your vulnerability. And this example I have seen mostly in divine masculines. They were always, taught to live in survival mode. At a very young age, they get hold of responsibility in the family and they were forced to mature beyond age. And because of that, they always kept their emotions to themselves. And these children, when they grow up to be adults as masculines, they have zero connect with their emotions. And because of zero connectivity with their emotions, they don't know how to show emotions or understand their feminine's emotions. Because they are not in touch with their emotions, how will they understand their counterparts' emotions? They will never understand. So, they have been taught that being vulnerable is weak, that showing or expressing your emotions is weak. Crying is a girl's job. Men don't cry. This is what they have been taught. Mostly in Indian households, I have seen this. Don't cry, you are a man, you're not supposed to cry. Crying is for the weak, only girls they cry. Why not? You should teach your sons, your brothers that cry, be vulnerable. Because that crying pours out their emotions and helps them to be in touch with their emotional side. And when a partner comes in their life, generally, if not in a twin flame journey also, generally, when they are in touch with their emotions, they are able to connect to their partner, their life partners, their girlfriends more easily. Because showing emotion, being vulnerable is so hard for them, that's why they fail to connect to their feminine in the way that they are supposed to be connecting. So, when you bury your vulnerability, it doesn't mean that it has disappeared. It went into your shadow. So what happens when you bury your emotions? What happens when you bury your vulnerability? It does not disappear. Don't think that you are escaping or it will go away somewhere in the air. But it goes into your shadow. And that shadow becomes the darkness of your life, which takes years and years to heal. And now because you have met your twin flame, and your twin flame has met you, you both are mirror. They bring your shadows to the surface and you bring their shadows to the surface. Not gently, but intensely. That's why it feels so intense. It feels like a roller coaster ride. At one moment, one thing triggers you. The other moment, your family members are triggering you. Why? Because all those 15, 16, 20, 30 years of, suppressing your emotions, it gets collected in the shadow box. Just imagine this shadow is a shadow box. And now, when you meet your twin flame, you finally feel that your shadow box is loaded. Too much loaded that it cannot contain anymore. You need to pour it somewhere. Otherwise, you'll blast. So that is the main work of coming into a twin flame journey. That is why your twin flame comes into your life to trigger you, so that slowly but gradually you empty your shadow box. Because carrying that burden, that box of shadow, just imagine that box is filled with too many trash. You will not be able to walk further. Forget about union. So first you need to empty that trash box, which is the shadow box. Then only you can move forward in this journey. Because this connection, it bypasses your ego and goes straight to your subconscious. That's why this journey is linked to your subconscious mind. Whatever you are going to feed your subconscious mind, that is what your reality will attract, your reality will start believing, and even your mind will start accepting it. Now, let's understand that why this journey or your counterpart is always called the mirror effect. The mirror effect, that why it hurts so much. Why did he come into my life and destroy it? Now my life feels like a burden. I was so happy before this journey. Everything was going smooth. Why the hell I was placed in this journey? Your twin flame reflects. That's why he or she is your mirror soul. They reflect what? They reflect your unhealed wounds, your unmet needs, your void, your fears of abandonment, rejection, or unworthiness. So let's make this real. If your twin pulls away, it triggers your abandonment wounds. If they don't validate you, it may trigger feelings of not being enough. You feel like, oh my god, maybe my masculine or feminine is much more better than me. I'm not enough. I don't deserve him or her. And if they choose someone else over you, it triggers deep insecurity and comparison. That, okay, the other person was better than me. I'm nothing. I don't have this much of money, bank balance. I don't have this kind of employment that it requires me to stand side by side by my counterpart. That's why he chose someone else over me. But here's the shift, They're not causing these feelings intentionally. They're revealing what was already within you. That trash box, that shadow box was already within you. It was just that it was too much loaded and you did not realize. So it's necessary for the universe to make you realize. And how that realization is found? When your counterpart comes into your life, you realize that that shadow box needs to be cleaned. It has to be emptied. So when they come, these things triggers you. That is why the connection feels almost unbearable at times, because you are not just dealing with the present, you are reliving the past through that shadow box. Years and years of trauma, years and years of pain, years and years of suffering, years and years of emotions, vulnerability which you wanted to let it out but you didn't, because of your circumstances, because of your upbringing, because of your environment. Do you think it is that easy to let go in a day or month? And people talk about inner work and shadow work like it's a cakewalk. It's not. It's so difficult. It's like a snake shedding its skin, layers after layers. It's so painful. It's extremely painful. So they come to make you realize. It was already there in your soul. It was already there in your DNA. Those troubles, those shadows, which required healing, which required to be cleared out. But you did not realize. So to fix that realization, your counterpart is sent into your life. When you both clean your shadow box and come clean, that is the time when you come into union. That's why they say that you have to do so much of inner work, so that you both clean all those suppressed emotions and get rid of your shadow box and come freely without any burden. So now let's understand the shadow in action. That is, how does it work in runner-chaser dynamic? So we all know what a runner-chaser dynamic is, right? The chaser often seeks validation, fears abandonment, thinking that the counterpart will leave them and go away, and tries to control or hold on to the connection, trying to give in so much into that connection that they forget themselves, they forget their personality, they forget their work, their job, their timing, that the years are passing. They sacrifice themselves so much just to save that relationship, save that connection, thinking that one day my counterpart will understand. That is the chaser side. Now, the runner, how does he behave? The runner fears vulnerability. He has suppressed so much emotions for so many years. Now he's scared to be vulnerable near his counterpart. He has trust issues. He's like, no, 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 I cannot be vulnerable near this person. Otherwise, they'll get hold of my weak point and take advantage of me like the others do. He starts counting his counterpart in the crowd of others. That's why he doesn't trust her and will never be vulnerable. So he runs away and avoids emotional intensity. The moment the love gets intense, he'll be like, oh my god, no, no, I cannot commit. This is not for me. I'm scared. And feels overwhelmed and pulls away. But why this is happening? The runner and the chaser? Because they are operating from their own shadows. Both of them have the shadow box filled. And they need to clear it. So before clearing it, the universe shakes them up, right? That's why the runner runs and the chaser chases. But one moment they come to grounding, where they understand that they have to do the shadow work to clear the shadow box. Now here I'm referring shadow box as an example, okay? The chaser is not just chasing the twin, but chasing a feeling of being enough. If the twin is with them, they'll feel that I'm enough. I have it all. I'm the best. And the runner is running not from the twin, but from themselves. They run from themselves, their vulnerability, their insecurities. All those years where they kept all the emotions inside, they're scared now. They're like, what is happening? What is going on? So this dynamic continues until both individuals face their inner wounds. That's what. They'll run, they'll chase, but at one moment they come to realization and they come to a standstill. And that standstill moment is the moment where they realize they have to empty their shadow box. They have to clear it out, all the garbage, all the unnecessary wounds that needs healing. They need to throw, cut, forgive, do whatever it takes to empty that box. Another thing, the illusion of external union. Many people, they believe that if I can be with my twin flame, everything will be good, my life will flow, I'll be the happiest person. But that belief is a part of an illusion and it tries to trick you. Because external union cannot fix internal fragmentation. Your internal shadow box is so dirty, you have so many dirt of years piled up, and you think that your external union will fix it. It can't. Instead, if you both come with your ugly, dirty, filled up shadow boxes, it's going to clash and create more dirt. And that union will never last. Instead, it will become a distorted kind of commitment relationship, I can say. So if you feel incomplete, unworthy, dependent, being with your twin will amplify those feelings instead, not erase them. That's why shadow work is important. That's why it's important to empty your shadow box. Because if you come together, you will not feel whole or happy. Instead, you people will trigger each other more. So that's why many twin flame connection go through separation. Why separation is there? Many people get angry, why me? Why the separation? Because that separation forces you to ground yourself and detach from such external validation, face your emotional dependencies and build a relationship with yourself. And this is where the real transformation begins. When they understand that they have to ground themselves and get rid of their shadow boxes, the dirt, the garbage of years, that is the time they come into separation and slowly release all that which is not required. So, how can we fix this? How can we fix this deep shadow work? When you feel triggered, how to handle it? You should ask yourself that what exactly am I feeling? When have I felt this before? And what belief is underneath this emotion? Why am I feeling this emotion? For example, I feel rejected. Why? Because I'm not good enough. That is the consequence of what? Childhood conditioning. You have been felt like that since childhood, that you are not good enough. So as an adult, what triggers you? When your counterpart doesn't validate you, you feel that you are not good enough. Inner child dialogue. Sometimes just close your eyes and visualize your younger self. I do that. I did that for my inner child healing. Ask them, What do you need right now? And what are you afraid of? Then respond on your own in your mind as your higher self with compassion, reassurance, and love. Make that child feel safe. Imagine yourself a 3, 4, or 5-year-old child and make that child feel safe. Tell him or her that I'm with you. Tell him or her that we are working on building our lives. It is taking time, but I'll be there. I'm there to hold you. I'm there for you, and you don't have to be scared. That is how I healed my inner child. I used to imagine every day. I used to call her. I used to sit with her. I used to tell her, we are doing fine. Though there are hurdles, there are ups and downs, but I'm with you. I'm holding your hand. Don't worry. We will get through this together. That is how you have to trick your mind. That's why it is connected to your subconscious mind. People, they say, no, inner work, shadow work is just meditation. No, it's not. It's all trick. It's all mind. Everything is mind. I'm not saying that divine is not there. I'm not saying that you don't need to connect to divine by chanting or by any kind of prayer or meditation. That is also required. But this is also required. Everything is required. It's like this journey is like a Pandora box. Unlimited amount of healing, unlimited amount of shadow work, inner work, whatever is possible, just apply. To one person, 10 solutions may apply and that person may come into union. Whereas on the other hand, just applying 5 solutions will work for the other person in their journey. So never compare your journey with anybody. It's like a Pandora box. Anything comes out, just use it. Just use it. But you need to trick your mind to heal your inner child. So most shadow wounds are tied to beliefs like, I'm not enough, I will be abandoned, love is unstable, I feel scared of love. So challenge these questions consciously and replace them with truth and not illusion. Write them down if possible. And don't bypass your feelings. Like if you feel anger, sadness, jealousy, sit with it. Try to understand from where it's coming, on whom you are angry and whom you need to forgive. Feel it without fully being judgmental. Don't judge yourself. Your emotions are not the problem, but avoiding it is the main problem. By avoiding it, you are putting more garbage in your shadow box. Don't do that. Sit with it and release it. You're angry with someone, just put your hand on your heart and say, okay, fine, I was angry with this person, but it's okay. The other person is also not perfect. I am not perfect either. It happened. I let it go. I forgive that person. Forgiving takes a lot of strength. But taking revenge and being angry, it's your loss. It's not the other person's loss. Because you're collecting more garbage. So you decide whether you want to clean that litter box or you want to collect more garbage. Detachment and energy reclaiming. Stop focusing on what your twin is doing obsessively. Where is he going? He's with third party. He'll get divorced or not. He has a child. What will happen to me? Stop it. Instead, redirect that energy to yourself. Your growth, your healing, your purpose. Okay, I'm supposed to be graduated in the next 2 years. Okay, I'm going to sit for this. Okay, I'm going to apply for that entrance. Okay, I'm not happy in this company. I think I deserve more. I shall apply for another company. Okay, I think I'm smart enough to start this business. So let me learn more about this business. Where will it go? Let me see how much capital I require. Do I have that much of savings? Let me see from where can I get it. How to start this business as soon as possible. Apply your mind in all that instead of obsessing over him. He's already financially doing well. Let me tell you one thing. Will he come and feed you? In so much distress, pain, sad, family up and down, third party, what not the feminine has to go through. Do they come and ask you, or do they come and give you financial support? They won't. You have to fix your own shit on your own. Nobody will come for you, not even your family members. Keep and get that straight in your head. I might sound very rude, but this is the reality. Nobody is going to come for you until and unless you don't fix your life. You keep on daydreaming about your twin flame, and your twin flame will be already getting married somewhere else, having children, building empire. And you, neither you have money, neither you have wealth, nor education, no job. Forget about union. Forget it. That's why I say, please, don't do what I did. Don't lose your precious years. Redirect your energy to yourself. In this journey, rather than your twin, you require yourself more. Your inner child requires you more than anybody else. So if you really have love and sympathy for yourself, think about it tonight. Think deeply that you also have self-respect. You are also a God's child, and you are here for a purpose. So use your mental, physical energy in living that purpose and bringing that purpose into reality, rather than running behind someone. Have some self-respect and dignity. Don't run. The more you run, the more you'll be exhausted, and the outcome will be always zero. But the more you run on yourself, the more you apply energy on yourself, help yourself, the more outcome it is going to give you. So the ball is in your court. The feminines are always the leaders in this journey, because they are capable of wonderful, wonderful, magical things in their life which they can manifest if they want to. But the problem is, it takes time to understand. So I'm here for you to make you understand. So understand it before it's too late. And you are not a beggar. Don't beg anybody. Stand your ground and do what you have come for. Stop wasting time on people. Stop it. Okay? So I hope you really like this episode on shadow work. I'll be bringing more episodes on, not just here I am covering the episodes on, understanding the twin flame journey. What is it? There's so many topics to be covered. But at the same time, you people require healing also. Like I told you, I did my inner work differently. There are different kinds of inner work. You have to sit down with such things. These are very intricate, very delicate things. It's not that I just give you half an hour meditation and you sit with that meditation. It's not going to work like that. This is faith plus science, faith plus psychology. It's not just faith, it's faith plus psychology. God has given us brain to utilize it. And the divine was sure that we are going to utilize it. That's why they have sent us into this journey. Having faith is topmost priority. Building your relationship with God is topmost priority. But also understanding psychologically, understanding it scientifically, and how to apply it, how to do your inner work, how to heal your shadow work and all that, that is also your responsibility, and I am going to help you. But first let me cover some of the important topics, because before doing shadow work, I think that it is important for you to understand all these topics and all in clarity, in detail. Like I told you, in my case there was nobody to teach me, but in your case this is a divine responsibility, and I'm doing it from my heart, and I don't want to miss anything out. Okay, so for any kind of personal guidance, you can WhatsApp or email me. My contact details have been given in the description box and also mentioned in the video. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me, and I'll see you soon again in another episode.